up, family? Welcome to another episode of the MySpace Effect, Building Influence and Impact. I'm your host, Herschel M. Peters. I want to thank you for joining me tonight for another episode as we continue to build influence, impact through real conversations that help us think, grow, and ultimately lead better. Tonight, I want to talk about something that we all need, but probably don't always manage well, and that is friendship. Friendship. We got a lot of people that talk about the purpose and the calling and vision, but few really talks about the people attached to it, and because the truth is the wrong people can delay the right purpose. So this episode isn't necessarily about cutting people off. It's more so about filtering who gets access, because not everyone who claps for you publicly is cheering for you privately. And so I really want to unpack this. I think tonight I'm going to call this Friendship Filters. Choosing connection without compromise. I think this is really important because I know for myself, navigating through friendships have been somewhat of a challenge. Because you got a lot of people, they say they're friends with people right now. It's really compromising their destiny and where they need to go in life as a whole. And it's a crisis right now. Because ultimately, when you look at it, there has been a post-pandemic disconnection. You look at leaders and creatives and believers, they come out of the pandemic more isolated. And many have learned how to function without real friendship. Social media, internet has helped play a huge role in that. I think conversations like these, help recenter the value of connection in a self-made solo grind society. I know I've dealt with that in many capacities. It can really hinder growth and development when you're somewhere where something as important as connection, community, and relationship, it really allows what God wants to do through people. That's why he put us here. That's why I know now friendship is a crisis in leadership. And I've seen it firsthand. Most leaders, they don't know who's safe to trust. It's either somebody is an admirer or an assignment or an agenda when it comes from a leadership standpoint. And I think talking about this right now really can help deal with some of the hidden aches that are in a lot of leaders' hearts right now pertaining to friendship. I think another aspect of why this is so important too is because when you look at the culture right now, friendship has really been redefined by followers and likes. The world is really starving right now for authenticity. I think being able to just touch on this a little bit helps deal with that emotionally and also that spiritual neglect. I want to be emotionally relatable, but also I want to deal with that spiritual neglect that comes from that's in our culture right now. I really want to just share this in a sense so that it can help people with their discernment, boundaries, and alignment in friendship. Because friendship is one of God's main tools for development and direction. It's how he shapes our character, sharpens our perspective, and provides strength in seasons of weakness. Real friends bring clarity, not confusion. They help us see ourselves, not lose ourselves. So the purpose of friendship is really ultimately to multiply strength, wisdom, and accountability, not just comfort. So when you look at it from that capacity, what I'm basically saying from a practical sense is that every friendship should either pour or position you. And if all your friends take, then you have nothing left to actually give. So friendship should always be mutual, not manipulative, because not everyone deserves the same level of access. There's levels to friendships. I think some people don't realize that and understand that. And I've had to learn that through trial and error. Wisdom is knowing where to place the people, not out of pride, but majority in the basis of it out of peace. Yeah, it's not a pride thing, it's a peace thing. And so I want to give you 3 levels of friendship. Number 1, acquaintances. That is, people you know of but don't know deeply. You keep it cordial, not confidential. Number 2, associates. People you may work with or collaborate with, but you don't necessarily confine in. And then lastly, number 3, allies. People who carry your heart, not just your habits. These are the people that mostly be in your inner circle. This is really important because some people love your light. They love the light. What if a person comes in and light up a room? They love all of that. What they bring to the table. I usually call it privileges and benefits, but some people have an aura that just lights up a room. Some people love your light, but they can't handle your shine, and that's why your discernment is your first defense. And that's why I'm sharing and talking about this from a practical capacity, because it's really vital in this day and time. That song, Friends, how many of us have them? Friends. Oh, man. But anyway, let's move on. One you can depend on. Anyway. You have your levels of friends, and then you have your type of friends. Not all friends play the same role. And that's okay, because the key to it all is identifying the role before you assign the title. You have 4 common types of friends. Number 1, purpose pushers. These people challenge you to grow. They're not necessarily intimidated by your potential. And then number 2, you have comfort companions. They love you, but not necessarily may stretch you in a sense. So you have to be grateful, but also stay aware. Stay woke! Number 4, you have seasonal supporters. They were necessary for where you were, but not necessarily where you're going. And I've experienced it. I've gone through some hard seasons where once I kind of came out of it, it's like they vanished. And it wasn't no beef. It just like, okay. Yeah, that happens. Then lastly, disguised drainers. These people, they appear loyal, but drain you of your focus, your peace, and your purpose. Now, in me sharing this and giving this, I want to make this clear that you don't necessarily have to demonize people who are no longer fit for your season. You just have to discern where they belong. See, what I'm sharing now is wisdom and discernment, even as leaders, because we have to move differently. You know, there's a way that when wisdom is utilized, it automatically causes one to move differently. Ultimately, the purpose of just sharing this, it comes down to friendship and alignment. Friendship and alignment. See, the people you walk with reveal the pace and the direction of your life. That saying comes to mind, you show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The wrong friendships can keep you in circles, and the right friendships can launch you into destiny. So if you're always the one apologizing, explaining, and carrying the weight of the connection, you might be trying to keep something alive that God really has allowed to die. So when I talk about friendship and alignment, see, alignment is protection. Friendship is a gift. But watch this. Every gift must be stewarded, not just received. Must be stewarded, not just received. The older I get, the more that I realize that friendship isn't about who's around you the most. It's about who's rooted in your growth. I'm going to say that again. It's not about those who's around you the most. It's those that are rooted in your growth. Because some friends clap for your past, but few can celebrate your evolution. So with all that being said, what I want you to take from tonight is, friendship should fuel you. It shouldn't drain you. And real friends sharpen you. Real friends correct you in love. And real friends make you feel seen and not used. So this week, take some time and really audit your circle. Audit people that you consider friends. Ask yourself, who's in my inner circle, a circle in general that contributes to my peace, or who's constantly draining me from peace, consistently pulling on it. because we cannot trick ourselves into accommodating anyone's else's comfort. So boundaries don't mean betrayal. They just mean maturity. Yeah, I'm coming up higher. Yeah, got to. And you're not necessarily rejecting people. You're protecting your purpose. And that's what I tell people all the time. You know, the quality of life is always predicated on the quality of the individual. If your quality of life stinks and is jacked up, you have to evaluate yourself. Because the higher you go, the higher the quality of life and things around it, it comes on higher too, as well. So if this is home, share it with somebody who's been reevaluating their circle. I think ending the year out it's really important to do that. Really evaluate some things going into 2026. Because in this season, connection still matters. But what matters even more than connection is discernment. So all right, my time is out. I will catch you guys on the next one. And y'all take it easy. Peace.